everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to put together a real good pot roast. I call it my Colorado Rocky Mountain pot roast because this is my recipe that I use when I'm making my pot roast, and I hope you like it. So I'm going to kind of just jump right in. Get you a Dutch oven pot to begin with. Put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in it, just enough to coat the bottom just a little bit in there. I have with me today, I bought a 3-pound rump roast. They were on sale at my grocery store, buy one, get one free, and anytime that's buy one, get one free, I usually do. And so I picked up this one, and I think I'm going to just use it. I really do. It's just a nice piece of meat. It's got a little bit of fat on it, which I want. So I'm going to put that down now in my pan of the hot oil because I want to sear the sides of, well, the top and the bottom for sure, of my meat. And get that nice and golden brown. Nice and golden brown. You'll need an onion, garlic, and some carrots to begin with. And I'll show you those here in just a second. Always have to stop a minute and take care of the animals. You'd think I had livestock. I just have a puppy dog that drives me kind of crazy every now and then. Okay, it's bubbling and doing as far as what I want it to. Don't know if you can see that well, but that's what it looks like on one side, and that's what you want. You want to get both sides nice and seared. And while that's doing that, then you want to take any onion, but I like a nice sweet yellow onion. So go ahead with a nice onion. Doesn't matter if it has a few little flaws, you're not too worried about that, because all that comes off anyway. Take your onion, this here, beautiful day in Colorado again today. 39 degrees. Had to go out for just a little while today, and that was all right. All right, so take your onion, cut it in half, cut it in quarters if you want to, and then just start slicing these. You don't have to have these tiny. In fact, the larger, the better. Go ahead and put that down in your pot. And I'll show you the other side to my meat here in a minute. Nothing better than a nice pot roast on a cool day. Cool day out. Yep. See, that's what it looks like on the other side, and that's what you want. That's what you want. I kind of stab my meat just a little bit with a meat fork. Get those juices in there good. Now, I'm going to add to this some garlic. I have a little garlic container I keep in my refrigerator. Find one of these because they really do come in handy. You don't have to search for your garlic forever. They're just right there handy. And keeps it out of the way. And again, same thing on this. You don't have to do this real tiny on the garlic. You want the seasoning more than anything. So put that in there. I'll go ahead with another one in here. just about bite-sized would be just fine. Now I'm going to take, if you have a box of beef broth, great. But if you don't, and for years I never bought those, I use the little packages here of the beef bouillon cubes. And I did go to the store this morning to get these because I only had, I think, one left in the cupboard. Got a lot of chicken, but I didn't seem to have a lot of beef. So I'm going to take 2 cubes of that. 2 cubes. Still just kind of sizzling away in there, that's okay. Put your temperature when you're doing the searing on high, because you want to get that meat nice and seared. Okay, so there's my 2 beef bouillon. And then I'm going to take some water now, and I'm going to put in the pot. And I'm going to do enough to coat my roast, but I'm not going to cover the whole entire roast. Not going to do that. I'm going to stick in a couple of fresh bay leaves in here. 2 of those. Now, normally I have my fresh sprigs of thyme, but because I don't right now, I'm just going to take just a handful, probably about a teaspoonful of thyme, and put that in there. And then I have carrots, and my carrots have been washed really well and scrubbed, but I did not take the skins off. And I do that because I like the flavor of having the skins on in my pot roast. You can take the skins off if you want to. Cut those on a diagonal shape. Give one to my puppy and see if he likes it. He might. You can go about 3 to 4 large carrots. Mine weren't real large, so I've got several here that I'm working with. And that's all right. Whatever's in your refrigerator. Don't go out and buy extra just for this recipe. Use whatever's in your refrigerator. Just enough to go around the pot really nice in here. Real nice. Go ahead and use these little ones because they're already ready. Okay, now I'm going to let that cook on the high temperature, probably covered. In fact, I get my lid out now. For that, cover it and let this cook for a good hour. And then I'll be back on to show you what other little goodies I add to my pot roast. Be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. It's been a good hour that my pot roast has been cooking on the stove. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to transfer it into a different pan because I can't put this particular pan in my oven. I have set my oven to 325 degrees, and all I'm going to do is take out all of this now and put it all in this pan. You could do this in a slow cooker, a crock pot, but I've been doing this method for so many years because when I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't have a crock pot, didn't have all that. And I had to go and do the old-fashioned way of cooking regular meals, and this was one of them. As long as you start with your good basics, which I have in here, good basics. You pour the broth in. also going to add one cup of beer. Yep, you heard me right. 1 cup of beer. Now, when I went to the grocery store to get a can of beer, you can't get just a little tiny thing of beer. You have to buy these great big things. And on this can, it says it is a 12-ounce can, which is more than a cup, obviously. But all I need out of it is a cup. I bought the Bud Light because, yes, that's my son's company. I've got to have the Bud Light. So, okay. So we'll put the beer in here. Now, you can substitute and not have beer. You can go with a red wine. I never seem to have red wine in my house. I don't have beer in my house because I don't drink alcohol. It's just for cooking purposes. Yes, I like to have it. So the malt in this is going to give this flavor. You're not going to taste beer by any means. It's just going to kind of marinate that roast and make it tender. And I'm curious as to how much this really is in here. Because I was guessing about 4 cups. So there's 2 cups and my 1 cup that I use. So it's 3 cups that are in one of these cans. These great big boys. Okay. We're going to take some salt and pepper. And I would say a good teaspoon full of salt and a good teaspoon full of pepper. Add that in there. Make sure it's covered with a lid. Sides of the pan got hot already on me. And stick it in your oven and let this bake on 325 for another hour and a half, until you are testing those, and I'm going to set my timer for a good hour, until the carrots, when you're testing them, come out nice and soft. If you like your roast a little bit more well done, then you certainly can take out the vegetables and keep cooking the roast in the liquid part of your pot roast. But a good 2 hours with the pot roast, either on the stove or the oven. I prefer it in the oven for the last part of the meal. I just think it makes everything of the juices taste better. It doesn't do that boiling effect, and I really kind of like it. So I'll come back in about an hour and show you the final product, and I think you'll like it. So catch you in a few. I'm back to check on my pot roast. So now I'm going to take it out of the oven. After it's been in there a little while, a little over an hour, not much, but I'm going to check on it now. Oh yeah, looks pretty nice. Now, if I was to test this, can't find my little poker. And the carrots are very nice right now. I can leave it the way it is right now, and I could add some grandma noodles to it. Would be nice. You can have the pot roast over, a bed of steamed white rice. But because husband kind of likes the new potatoes, I have some right here that I went ahead and washed. And I'm just going to put several of these in here now. And I'm going to cook this another 20 minutes, 25 minutes, somewhere in there. Just until I know that these potatoes are nice and soft and done. Should be about enough. Put it back in the oven. Cook it some more. On my temperature of still 325. Okay, so when I come back the next time, it should be out of the oven. And I'll stick it on a serving platter to show you how that roast looks and how delicious I think it's going to be for tonight. my Colorado Rocky Mountain pot roast. I think you'll like it. I'll be back. Well, I'm back for the final part of my video. The roast is out of the oven. My little pot roast is out of the oven. It smelled really good the whole time cooking. It really did. So now I can take the meat part off and I can start slicing. It just really does kind of fall off. Falls right off. Slice is so nice. Yes, my puppy dog is very anxious to try a piece. Come here, baby. He always gets just a little. I will take my vegetables and put it around the nice roast here. I'm probably going to mix some gravy, but that is my Colorado Rocky Mountain pot roast today. I hope you've enjoyed it from my kitchen to yours. Have a grand afternoon. Bye-bye now.